Remember 1999, before your phone was your entire music library? If you wanted a song, you drove to a store and bought a $16 CD, probably for that one track you actually liked. The stock market was a fever dream, a rocket ship fueled by anything with a .com at the end. The Nasdaq was screaming past 5,000. And in a university dorm room, a 19-year-old kid named Shawn Fanning wrote a piece of code. He called it Napster. It wasn't a business plan. It was a bomb. One search box, one click, and any song you wanted was yours. Free. Frictionless. And for a brief, blazing moment, it became the soundtrack to the .com bubble itself. The growth was just absurd. In February of 2000, Napster had about 1.1 million users in the US. By July, it was 4.9 million. It was spreading faster than a campus rumor. So fast, in fact, that at Indiana University, officials looked at their internet pipes and found 61% of their entire network bandwidth was being eaten alive by students downloading music. Think about that. Not email, not research, just MP3s. This was the .com ethos in its purest form. Get the eyeballs and figure out the money later. While investors cheered, the music industry panicked. Lawsuits started flying.
Metallica's drummer, Lars Ulrich, went to the US Senate, telling them Napster had hijacked our music. And in a perfect piece of millennial defiance, Shawn Fanning walked on stage at the MTV Awards wearing a Metallica t-shirt. The vibe was mischievous, the fight was deadly serious. By early 2001, Napster had 26.4 million users worldwide. They were backed into a legal corner, but they had the entire world's attention. So they made a desperate offer to the major labels, a peace treaty. They put $1 billion on the table to be paid out over 5 years. Now, $1 billion sounds like a lot of money, but let's put that number in context. In 1999 alone, the US record business pulled in $14.6 billion. In today's money, that's a business worth well into the high 20 billions. So Napster's offer of $200 million a year wasn't a serious business proposal. It was like offering to pay for a mansion with your pocket change. It was maybe 1 or 2% of the market they were actively blowing up. The labels, to absolutely no one's surprise, rejected it. And then the whole thing came crashing down. The courts ordered filters. The free ride was over. Traffic collapsed. Napster went bankrupt in 2002. At the same time, the .com bubble it had symbolized was bursting.
The Nasdaq, which had peaked over 5,000, cratered to just over 1,100, a 77% drop, a financial bloodbath. But here's the twist. The demand for digital music didn't just disappear. Users just migrated to new, harder-to-kill services, like Kazaa and Gnutella. The whack-a-mole game had begun. And then someone else stepped into the smoking crater. Apple. In 2001, they released the iPod, $399, 1,000 songs in your pocket. 2 years later, the iTunes Store, 99 cents a song. Suddenly, buying music was easier, cooler, and felt better than stealing it. They didn't beat the pirates with lawyers. They beat them with a better product. The final irony, after all that chaos, after changing the world, Napster's brand and tech were sold in bankruptcy for just over $5 million. That's not even a rounding error. That's just dust. Napster wasn't the revolution. It was just the gunshot that started it. Well, I hope you liked this video. Here you have another one if you like this channel.